The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining our webinar today. Wow, wow, wow. We in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We in for a treat. This is diplomat Nolan Pillay from South Africa. And wow, it's my honor and privilege to be on this call this evening. So ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, I just want to make a quick announcement. As you see up on the screen there, that's the South African conference. It's a pre-launch that we're having in South Africa in February. And we'd like every single one of you to be attending and sharing it with as many people as possible throughout the world. So it is going to be held over 3 days, which means it starts on a Thursday with a double boot camp, with a double tour, one just after noon and one in the evening. The same on Friday as well. And on Saturday, we have a tour in the morning, followed by a boot camp at 10 a.m. in South Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have LCs that are in South Africa, please feel free to send them. There is a charge for LCs, which is 1,000 Rand, but your guests are absolutely free. As we say in South Africa, it is for mahala, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, we're looking forward to that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. As you can see, we have our special guest presenter that's coming down all the way from Canada. I mean, this gentleman is going to be sitting on a plane for close to 24 hours. This is excluding the change of flights as well. I mean, 24 hours, he's leaving his family behind. He's leaving his business behind. He's traveling all the way just to come and help support us down in South Africa. So I salute this gentleman. He's our national ambassador, Reza Mesgarlou. He's an absolutely amazing, amazing guy. So, you know, to do this for your team is unbelievable. But guess what? Every single one of us, we portray the same attitude as well. We become leaders and we help grow our teams anywhere in the world. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, great. So I just want to check if I've got Reza Mesgarlou. I know he's online, so I just want to double check. Hey, Reza. Hi, Reza.
Yes.
Okay, Reza is online. I just want to. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Reza, you there, right?
Yes, I am, Nolan. I'm here, my friend. I'm just trying to get Mr. Mercer on, and I think he's on.
I'm on.
Oh, wow. Ed
I'm here.
Hey, good evening, Ed.
Great. Yes, Nolan, go ahead.
Okay, great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I'd like to, tonight is going to be absolutely amazing. Please keep your pens, your notepads on handy. Make as much notes as possible. You know, we have the privilege of being, Reza Mesgarlou is going to be interviewing a billionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction, but I don't want to say too much about him. I wanted just to go with the flow, but all I can tell you is you need to keep your notepads on hand. You need to make as much notes as possible because this is going to benefit you in a huge way. So just as a form of introduction, Reza Mesgarlou joined Global Wealth Trade in 2005, but did nothing with his business for over 3 years. He decided he needed to get out of his government manager job in 2008, ladies and gentlemen, so he could have time freedom, and most importantly, spend a whole lot of time with his children. He then took a good look at his Global Wealth Trade business that had grown for over 3 years without any effort on his part at all. Now, in that 3 years, his business grew to over 3,000 members with $7.5 million in volume, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Reza, when he realized this, he realized that 2/3 of the work to become a millionaire had been done for him already. He started getting serious. He started working aggressively, part-time, building his business. And in 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, he doubled his government manager income and retired from his job and helped 4 others to retire at the same time as well. Now, Reza is the top 5-figure monthly income earner in the entire company, making more in a month than some people do in a year. He made his first $1 million in 27 months and is the first 7-figure annual income earner in the company. Now, Reza has also won the President's Cup, which is the highest award in our company. He is one of 8 members to sit on the CEO Advisory Council and is a company shareholder. Now, he is our mentor and upline. Well, I'm proud to call him my upline as well and personal friend. And he's working with every single one of us to take South Africa to number 1. So LCs that are on the call, I repeat, to take South Africa to number 1, and we are going to get it. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Reza Mesgarlou, our National Ambassador at Global World Trade.
Oh, thank you very much, Nolan, for the kind introduction. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this powerful, dynamic webinar. You're in for a treat. This call is not about me, but I've been in the industry going into my 27th year. The gentleman that I'm going to be having share his experience with us has been in the industry over 50 years. Yes, you heard me, 50. He's the man known as the billionaire in the industry. He's the man who I don't think any half-class networker hasn't heard of him. He's got a name for himself all across the globe. He's done some tremendous things in this industry. He's changed lives all over the globe. He continue on doing it. I found it fitting to have this young man to share his story, his knowledge, his wisdom with us. He's been at it for over 50 years successfully, okay? So I think there is quite a bit that we can pick from him and his brain as to what does he do, what is his magic, what is his trick, and, and once you hear his story, man, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be blown away because, I'm not going to speak on his behalf. I'm going to let him share because I've asked his questions myself. I've heard his stories myself. I know he's written a number of books. He helps people all over the world, charities and so on and so forth. An amazing, amazing individual. I've had an opportunity to spend some time with him in different places, and I tell you, take notes. Record the call. We're recording it as well. And you know what? I'm going to go right to Mr. Mercer, and I'm going to let him share with us what has been happening, what is it that we should be doing, what is it that he's been doing, and so on. Mr. Mercer, are you on the call?
I am, sir. Thank you for that fantastic introduction. I really appreciate all your kind words.
Well, it's our pleasure, my friend. You know what? I've been looking forward to this webinar. I've been looking forward to this, and most importantly, share that with the GWE family. I know you work with everybody. Doesn't matter if they're your team or not. Doesn't matter even if you know them or not. I know they call you, and you're there to assist and help. And you know what? That is wonderful. That's what this industry is about. That's how we should all be like. And I tell you, I think that had a lot to do with your success. So, Mr. Mercer, tell me about this. How long have you been in the industry now?
I've been in business in the industry for 50 years, but what you were saying about, reaching out to each other, I always say when the team is together, the dream is together. And there's no other I in the word team. And we're all one. We're all heading in the same direction. So we should all be helping each other. To me, the people in GWT are my extended family. And so you wouldn't abandon your family, so why would I abandon anybody on the team?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. This is something that makes us who we are as a family, as a organization, as a movement. Really, we're a movement. Direct sell network marketing is a movement. GWT is the vehicle that's going to get everyone there. And, so what I wanted to know was, the first thing I wanted to know was 50 years ago, when you learned about this industry, what was about this industry that got you, interested, got you noticed, got you started?
Well, I don't want to bore anyone, but I just want to share with you real quick. I lived in a condemned house with no running water, no electricity, no floors. Two of my brothers died of an overdose of drugs. My one brother was shot to death. My other brother died at 12 years old. I was a street person, and when I looked at, I had no education. I had grade 8 education, and I didn't know what I could do. I had no idea what I could do. And when I looked at multi-level marketing, it was an equal playing field for everyone. And there was a very small investment, number one. My youngest millionaire, actually, I made 50 people millionaires. My youngest millionaire, I met him when he was 17 years old. He became a millionaire at 19. He had grade 7 education and couldn't speak a word of English. My oldest millionaire was 72, and she was in a wheelchair with one leg amputated due to cancer. So the nice part about this industry, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are. It doesn't matter. I mean, even people that have some disabilities can manage to do this business, especially GWT, because it's online, and online is where it's at. So.
Wow. All right. Awesome. Well, that's really, I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what I saw when I had my own restaurant franchise at the age of 21, and I knew I was working long hours. I was looking at the older generation, how they were working long hours regardless of how many restaurants they had. And, that's what appealed to me as well, that anybody and everybody with minimal investment could get in here and, accomplish the unthinkable. So, yeah. Share with us, please, how does the industry change in the last 50 years?
Well, the industry has changed, and I believe to be a lot easier. I'm sure that I want you all to think about this. When you wanted to make a phone call many years ago, what did you do? You had to go home. You didn't have cell phones. You didn't have internet. You didn't have Facebook. You didn't have any of those things. And so you only had a phone, and the phone was in your house, and usually only one person in the house had a phone. So you didn't have all of those things. Nowadays, with the technology, it's so simple. We're open to the world, and so the key is to knowledge is our next currency. We need to have some knowledge of the industry, and we need to have some knowledge on how to go out there and use the internet and use it in the proper manner. What a lot of people don't do, I worked with somebody called Mark Zuckerberg. He was the owner of Facebook, and I met with him 10 years ago. I was working with the Wounded Warriors in Virginia. I also shared a house with Richard Branson in Virginia. Always talking about vision, being a visionary. And Mark actually invited 185 people to his first event. His parents actually basically asked him if they wanted him to do a drug test. They thought he was crazy. They said, you're going to open up a company, and you're going to call it Facebook, and people are going to tell their life story to complete strangers. He invited 185 people. Only 3 people showed up. 3 people became billionaires, right? And the other people didn't show up. And this is the way I look at GWT. Number one, what is happening in online shopping this year of 1.62 trillion, people can't relate to that figure. I'll explain it to you real quick. 1.62 trillion, you can buy the music industry, you can buy the sports industry, you can buy Apple Computer, and still have $550 billion left over. And we're the largest fashion company in Canada, within the 190-some countries, and we have zero competition. The key to multi-level marketing is retention. And even when I was number 1 in the world of a company called Herbalife, I had 1.3 million distributors. My retention rate is, as hard as I worked, my retention rate was 7%. My retention rate with GWT is 92%. So that's the easy part now. GWT is by far the easiest company. If you don't make it with GWT, don't look for another company. It's not going to work for you.
I agree with you, my friend. I agree with you. Even though, yes, industries have evolved, life becomes easier in terms of reaching out 4 corners of the world and a lot of places in between. But also, what hasn't changed, I should say, in 50 years is the way we can go about, if we can keep the qualities of the past, like the way we learned on how to build our business, combine it with the easiness of reaching everyone around the world is, the magic. So now what I want to do is, because I've seen your work ethics, I've seen what you do, I've heard some of your training, I see the way you go. I mean, I've seen you at the events. You'll be the last one going to bed. You'll be the first one downstairs in the lobby in your three-piece suit, meet and greeting everyone. I mean, the energy you have is unbelievable. I know a lot of the things that we learned in our earlier years still has not changed, and that's face-to-face. So can you share a little bit of those skills, Ed? Can you talk to me about, talk to the crowd about your DMO? What is it that you do day in and day out? If you can share, take a few minutes and share why you picked TWT when you just saw this, and what is it that you do, that you've done in every company you've been with over the last 50 years that still hasn't changed, that still works? Maybe you want to cover, take a little bit of time and cover on those.
I think the key to the whole thing is called like and trust. People must like you and they must trust you. That is really, really, really important. To me, I take down the word family. The word family means forget about me, I love you. You know, it's important that you can relate to the people that you're getting involved in the business. Some people, they go into management mode. They think, you know, I'm your upline. I hate the word upline, downline. I hate all those words. We're not upline, downline. We're all one. We're individuals working towards the same goal. And when you were saying about me being the first one there and the last one to leave, I believe one thing: wherever you are, be there. And how you do anything is how you do everything. And so that's really, really, really important. How you do anything is how you do everything. And for example, my daily operation, I do about 25 to 30 three-way calls per day, every single day. I can just tell everyone on the call today, if you're not doing three-way calls, the chances of you getting to one of the top levels is, I say this, don't be offended, it's probably slim and none. If you're not doing any three-way calls, you need to really, really, really take this call serious. You need to start making three-way calls. You need to have your team duplicating what you're doing. And the one thing that's really, really, really important I want to share with you, this is going to change your life. I've been in the business, like you say, for 50 years. I've made 50 people millionaires. I've made a lot of people $50,000, $100,000. But I've never met anybody in history in 50 years that has not been doing 10 presentations a week, at least 10 per week. If you're not doing 10 one-on-one presentations per week, I can guarantee you you'll never reach the six figures, right? So for me, what I do, I try to do 5 presentations per day. And I want you to think about that. 5 presentations per day, only 5 days per week. That's 25 per week. That's 100 per month. Okay? Now 100 per month, that is 1,200 per year, right? 1,200 per year. My friend and the person I work with every day is Renee. He is so over the top. He is fantastic. He's one of the best I've seen in the industry ever. And what happens is that when I work with him, he's always there. Wherever you are, like I say, wherever you are, be there. If you're doing, he's only sponsored 10 people per year in 10 years. So it has 100 people in his organization. He's making $100,000 per month, right? So when you think of somebody like that, retention is so important. Like I say, in the industry of the health and nutrition industry, the top companies, the retention rate is 7%. And so what we need to do, if you're doing 5 presentations a day, 5, like I say, 25 a week, that's 100 a month. You cannot help but become a six-figure earner. It's an impossibility that it won't work. That's the blueprint. That's the plan. If you follow that plan, we'll see all at the convention. We'll see you in March in Niagara Falls on the stage celebrating your victory, because that's all it's about. Your victory is going to be there. Your goal is going to be there. I always tell people, too, don't ever miss a convention. That is really, really, really important, because when you come back from the convention, this is sort of MLM statistics. If you bring 10 people, your income usually goes up by at least 10,000. If 100 people, it goes up by 100,000. Usually it goes up minimum $1,000 per person for every person you bring to a convention, because they get excited. They go home, they show pictures to their friends. They do this, they do that. It's like going on a vacation. no matter what vacation you go on, what do? As soon as you get home, you want to share your pictures of your vacation. It's the same thing with this. You want to show people pictures of the things and the people you met at the convention.
Well, that's, in all these years that you've been in industry, have you ever missed a convention?
No, I've never missed a convention. Right now, for example, I'm doing a meeting today at 4 o'clock. It's Saturday. I do a meeting tomorrow in downtown Toronto between 2 and 4. Monday, I do a tax meeting. Tuesday, I go to Niagara Falls, Ontario. Wednesday, we do Richmond Hill. Thursday, we do another downtown meeting. I work the business 7 days a week, and I do at least 25 to 30 three-way calls per day, and I do presentations every single day. I don't miss it. And that's what I'm saying. If you're willing to work, it works. I mean, it's not a gift. Not everybody's willing to work the way I do. That's okay. My goal, and I don't want you to be upset. My goal is to beat you. My goal is to be number one.
I am ecstatic about it, Ed. I love it.
My goal is to be number one. My goal is to be number one in the company. And the thing is, with Ramin, the way he has things set up with the new car program and all the other things that we have, my God, he is a genius. He is fantastic. I'm so proud to be part of GWT, and I'm just overwhelmed. In my 50 years of being in the industry, I've never seen anything. I'm like a kid at a party. I wake up every day excited about the opportunity. I've never thought like this before in 50 years that I've been in with any company. This is exciting for the lives that we're changing. I take people that are driving vehicles that they really don't want to drive, and all of a sudden we're going to be driving new Mercedes and BMWs and everything. And, really, truthfully, there are going to be people doing that in 30 to 60 days. There are companies where people have been in the business for, 10 or 12 years that don't get to that level.
Well, I know, 50 years in the industry, for you to come and check us out and call GWT home is a big statement. And when you called it home, I know you went to work immediately, therefore the fastest regional in GWT history. And can you touch on that from your inception, like from the time you started with GWT, once you decided to make that statement that GWT is home regional? Can you share with us your first month when you got to work, exactly about your list? How did you put this list together? Who are the people that you contacted first, or if there is any order? Maybe you want to touch on that a little bit.
Well, in this industry, it's not the quantity of people you put into the business, it's the quality of people you put into the business. And who did I contact first? I contacted the people that I loved and respected the most in my life. If you're to open up a new company today, it doesn't have to be a multi-level marketing company. It could be any company. Who would you want to have as your CEO? Who would you want to have as the vice president? And so for me, we're always a product of our environment. And I decided something many, many years ago. I decided that I would not bring anybody into my business and I wouldn't introduce to my wife or my children, right? Because we are a product of our environment. And so if you're bringing in people that are not respected, they're going to be bringing in those people exactly like them, okay? I don't know if you've ever been into a room and the room smells a little bit. After you're there for 10 or 15 minutes, you don't notice it anymore. See, if you stay long enough in the same place, you become that place. You start dressing the way they do, acting the way they do, drinking, swearing the way they do. You put your birds in someone else's cage. They stole your identity, and it's not their fault. You allowed it to happen. So when I bring somebody into the business, the people I bring into the business, like I say, it's all about like and trust. Everybody has to like and trust the people you bring into the business, because those are the type of people they're going to bring into the business. So you need to bring in the right people. The people, I tell people there's 10 reasons for being successful. Number one is integrity. The other 9 don't count, right? In the Bible, it says the 10 commandments. It's not the 10 suggestions, okay? There's certain things that you need to do on a daily basis. You need to abide by those rules, and you need to move forward on a daily basis. And so, it's like other side, out of mind. If you don't go to a convention, if you don't go to meetings, pretty soon it just becomes a daily routine where you keep missing all those meetings, and you lose faith in the business. But also, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. No one in your downline or upline is going to do what you do unless you prove to them that you're doing it yourself. I've never asked anybody to do anything I've never done myself.
Well, great statement. So, you know, we all know, we've all heard in the past, you hear it, that anything we do for 30 days in a row becomes a habit. So what you're suggesting is, if someone's made a commitment to be in this business, then they need to basically have a schedule. They need to not miss major events. They need to, if they're part-time, to be a part-time. If they're part-time serious, be a part-time serious. If they want to be a full-time, then be a full-time. Now, what's your advice for people who have not been in the industry before? This is really the first, program. It's the first time they're in. What's your advice and how to go about building that list and how to go about, their business?
As strange as it may seem, I sometimes prefer people that have no previous experience in the business because they have no bad habits. What happens is that if someone can physically read, okay, I'm sure everybody on the call can read, basically with the flip chart, it's genius, okay? As long as you can read and you go through that flip chart with 5 people per day, that's 25 a week. Like I said, that's 100 people per month. You can be successful in business with 0 experience, right? Out of those 5 people, you're maybe only going to have 2 people that's going to sign up, okay? So if you have 2 people signing up in a month, that's still 8 people in a month. Renee making $100,000 a month, so we're brought in 10 people per year. So what I'm saying is that the odds are in your favor. It's not like going to Las Vegas. It's not a gamble. It's a real deal. That's the blueprint. That's the plan. If you follow that plan, it will work every single time without failure. Right? So you need to get out there and you need to talk to people. What I do, I'll tell you exactly what I do. I say, I'm building an international business. Do you know anybody interested in making $2,000 to $3,000 a month part-time? And every single person says, yeah, I know somebody. And who's that? They said, me. And I go over the flip chart with them. I'm not into, actually, I don't want to destroy this. I don't make a list. I'm not into making a list. Basically, I'm out finding new people daily. I'm not out there rehashing people that, they've been in 9 years. They haven't done well in any of them, and I'm trying to bring them back into the fold. I want new people. I want new people with what we have now, with the way the tax program's set up, the car program's set up, the compensation plan. I mean, I've written compensation plans for companies. This is the best compensation plan in the world in multi-level marketing history. And we're going to start bringing some serious multi-level marketing people into the business with serious downlines. So the incomes that people are seeing now are going to be double and triple. So we're going to make history in this industry through GWT.
Now, Ed, you said this is the most powerful compensation plan on the planet. If anyone is qualified to make that statement or earn their stripes to say that statement is yourself. What is so different with our compensation plan than everything else you've ever seen?
Well, the whole thing is there's lots of things. There's many different things. But the way the auto ship program, auto ship is almost a bad word in the industry. People getting product every month that you can only eat so many vitamins and drink so many shakes, right? So we have a product with no expiry dates. That's number one. Secondly, I've talked to a lot of people over in. So how many countries are in? Well, we're in 12 countries. We're in 13 countries. Well, we're in 195. Whatever the number is, that's from daily basis. So I never leave money on the table. So that was one of the things I really wanted to look at. How many countries are they in? Yeah, they're in the world. They're all over the world. So no expiry dates. No auto ship. No real ranks either. I mean, so if you don't, once you're an RA, you're an RA. Once you're ambassador or a diplomat, you're an ambassador or diplomat. With all these other programs, right? If you don't reach your volume for that month, you lose your rank. We don't have ranks, right? And so there's just so many things that is incredible that we have. Working directly with the management, Shanaz and Ramin, I've never seen, and I've been around the owners of many companies, and basically, you almost have to make an appointment to see them. And if you're not at a certain rank, if you're not like at the top of the company, they won't even look at you. They won't talk to you. I can phone Shanaz, or I can phone Ramin at any time, and they get back to me and we talk. And I'm so proud to be on the advisory team in a short period of time. I'm so blessed and so honored that they allowed me to even be on the team in the shortest period of time. So I'm really happy about that. So, because for me, I really I want the company to grow, but not just financially. I think we're growing spiritually too. We're growing as well. Money is a magnifier. It just magnifies what you already are, right? And I see people making money, but I see people growing as a person. I believe strongly that we have to grow as a person, and we have to work on ourselves sometimes harder than we work on the business. So I believe that in order to have more, we must become more. In order for things to change, we must change. I would say never be bitter, always be better. And that's what we're doing. We're becoming better. We're basically, we're a standard right now. We're raising the bar in the multi-level marketing industry. Taking away from all of the negativity. We've changed the industry. We're changing it on a daily basis.
Well, Ed, one thing I wanted to also for you to touch on is when the process when you invite someone to the table. What I mean by the table is either your weekly tour, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's an online webinar tour. Can you touch on that? How do you bring people to the table?
Like I said, I do basically. For example, yesterday I went to get my passport renewed, and I talked to somebody in line, and I also went to get my hair cut, and I talked to someone, and I have meetings with both of them today. So the whole thing is I take their information right away. In Canada, maybe it's a little different. So first thing I say to people, are you interested in attending a free seminar on how to get back anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 on your income tax? And I've never heard one person say, no, I'm not interested in getting the money back on my income tax. So basically, I'm going to be free tomorrow or whatever date, and I set a time up, and I go see them. And like I say, I've got meetings today here in Toronto at 4 o'clock. Some people that I met yesterday. So. But like I said, I'm on top of things. You need to be organized. You need to have a calendar. You need to have a sort of a diary or something to keep you on track to know where you're going. A lot of people write things down on some scraps of paper and things like that. But a short pencil is better than a long memory. You need to be organized. Everything is about being organized, right? And like you said earlier, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So you need to get organized. You need to understand the compensation plan. You need to do the things. You need to learn about the company. So for me, a professional. You need to be professional. You're in a business. You're not in. It's not a hobby. It's a business. You have to look like a business person. The thing is, if I'm going to be in the fashion business, I don't come to meetings in work boots and blue jeans, right? I come there dressed the best I can. I make sure that my hair is proper and my clothing is proper. I'm in the fashion business. So, if you're working for Mercedes, you don't drive a BMW. So the thing is, like I say, wherever you are, be there.
Very well said, my friend. That's what I was going to touch on next. So when you talk about your business attire, how about just in usual, like in daily passings? I know different people have different ideas of how they should dress. Some people only dress when they go to a meeting. Some people say no, look successful at all times, because when you meet your prospects, when you meet new people, they judge you by the way you look. So I know I've never seen you not dressed up, so for average person that's listening on this call, what's your idea of looking successful?
I will never go out of the house even for a loaf of bread or a quart of milk unless I have a suit and tie on and my shoes are shined and my hair is proper. I will not ever go anywhere because I don't know who I'm going to meet. It could be the cashier. It could be everywhere I go, and I don't say this in a weird way, but everywhere I go, people comment every single day. Oh my God, you look so fantastic. Oh my God, beautiful shoes, nice suit, right? And even people in the malls and stuff, they stare at me. They look at me, wondering who I am, right? Because a lot of people that are in the mall, they're saggy, baggy jeans hanging down, and a beer advertisement on their T-shirt, or hat turned around upside down or backwards, right? And
Right.
I walk into the mall and walk in any place, and people pay attention, even though I go to a restaurant or a store or whatever. All the time, the cashier or the waitress or the waiter, oh my God, you look pretty sharp. What do you do? Yeah, what are you up to? And that way I have a conversation. But I'm saying you need to, if you're going to be in the fashion business, be in the fashion business. If you're going to be in the construction business, no problem. Wear your yellow hat, wear your work boots, wear your blue jeans, do that. But we're not in that business. We're in the fashion business.
So basically, look successful at all times.
At all times, you can never overdress.
Very good, very good. That's awesome. Now, when you have brought a brand new person to your weekly meeting, let's use a weekly meeting as an example. When you bring a brand new person that does not know anyone and you're the reason why they're there, what is the process? What do you do with them? When they come in, they see a bunch of people in the room. Can you take us through the process from the moment your guest gets there to the moment he leaves or she leaves?
Okay, the first thing I do, I ask them if they have a cell phone. And every person, I've never met a person without one. And everybody says, yes, I have a cell phone. I said, how many people on your cell phone? People usually say, oh, 50 or 100. They come up with all kinds of figures. And I said, did the phone fairy put those numbers in there? And they sort of laughed and said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you know those 100 people or those 50 people. And they said, yes. What I want you to do is call them and tell them you're involved in this great opportunity, and you would like them to meet your mentor, and what they do is they put me on survey calls. Or I ask people if they're married, and people say, yeah, I'm married. I said, how many people were at your wedding? I said, oh, 100 people. And I said, did you put an ad in the paper to get those 100 people to come to your wedding? I said, no. I said, well, listen, it was in the house of God in the most important day of your life. You invited 100 people. They were there for you. Now it's your turn to be there for them. Because, you think you decided that you can show them how to get anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 back in their income tax? And they say, of course. And so, everything, and like I said, everything to me is about relationships. Everything, I always say there's big ships, there's small ships. The best ships are friendships and relationships, right? So it's all about not what's in it for me, it's what's in it for them, right? And if you give enough people, we've heard this 1,000 times, but if you give enough people everything they want, you always get what you want, right? So you need to keep them in mind of what they need, what they want. Fill their dreams, fill up their thoughts, give them what they want, and you always get what you want.
That's great. That's great. Now, in terms of these prospects of yours to feel at home, to feel comfortable, what's the process? Do you take them around, introduce them to other people? How early do you get there with them? Can you touch on that a little bit?
Actually, I don't take them around, or I don't believe, again, I don't want to, deter people from what they're already doing. I don't go out and take them around. I don't do any of those things. I get them on webinars. I get them on get them to understand the videos. I get them to understand everything. But anybody that's on my team will tell you, I call them every day. And I don't talk. I'm not in the management mode. I don't talk to people. How many people did you talk to today? How many people did you recruit today? I don't talk to them about that. First thing, I want to know, how's the family doing? How's they doing? How's the dog doing? Whatever the case may be. But we've become friends. And people that become friends, they don't want to let you down because they're your friend. And they'll, don't get into management mode. They will start working the business because of the fact that they don't want to break the problems to you. And, also what I do, and again, I don't want to sound silly to anybody. I ask people, why are you involved in the business? And they say, well, I'm involved in the business because, I want to provide my mother. My mother's not doing well, and she's always been there for me, and now it's my turn to be there for her. Or I want to send my children to better schools, or I want to, do this or that. I want to help some people in a different country. And so if they don't show up at a meeting or whatever, and this is not what I said, I'll phone them up and say, my God, I didn't see you at the meeting. Is it okay with your son? You said you're going to put him into private school. Have you changed your mind? And they said, well, no. And I said, well, you told me that you were going to work the business and put him into a private school, and you didn't see that, so I thought maybe you changed your mind. And I bring them around because some people, it's like my friend owns all the a gym franchise in Canada. And he tells me, he says, from January 1st to the end of the month, he has over 4,000 locations. He says, you cannot get a parking spot at any one of the locations. The parking spots are full, people are parking on the side streets. He says, in February, you can park next to the disabled, okay? So what happens is that, people, I know that New Year's resolutions, number one, they don't work. 87% of the people that make a New Year's resolution, they break it within the first 2 weeks. And so New Year's resolutions don't work. So what I'm saying is if you're going to build a business, you don't build the business, you build people. You build people, the people will build the business for you, right? But like I said, it's all going back to life and trust again. It goes right back to that. It always will. Nothing's going to change. If they don't like you and they don't trust you, they're not going to do the business.
That's awesome. Well, you know what, Ed, that's great. But what I was asking is, when you have, I know yourself, when you show up to an event, when you show up to the tour, you walk around, whether you know people or you do not know people, you introduce yourself, you get to know them, you make them feel comfortable. So when you have your own people that don't know anyone in the weekly tour, what's the process? What do you do with them? How do you get them seated? What do you do pre-tour with them while they're waiting before the tour starts?
I always, everybody I have in my group, they take over the front rows. There's no person in my group that's not sitting at the back or in the middle. Everybody in my group is sitting in the front row. The thing is, again, it's a matter of guiding the people in the right direction. And I always tell people, smiles are free, give away as many as you can. And, for example, I tell them, if they're not dressed properly, I say, hey, I don't say that in a bad way. If you're dressed differently, you think the way you have a different response. You never say to somebody that you're doing the wrong thing, or, you never embarrass anyone. If even someone does something wrong, you don't say, oh, my God, you did something wrong. You just say, you think you would have got a different result if you would have done it this way. And let them answer you, right? And, a lot of people, too, if they don't do a three-way call, what happens is that someone comes to me and says, oh, I invited 5 people, and they didn't show up. Well, you didn't give them enough reason to show up. If someone said to you, I'm going to try to be there, that means you're not coming. If someone says, I'm going to check my calendar, that means you're not coming, right? So what happens is people will let their friends down with an excuse, but they won't let a stranger down. So if I get on the call and someone says to me, oh, I'm bringing 3 people tonight, so put me on the call with them. So I go on the call with them. So, John told me a whole bunch about you. You sound like a very exciting person. I'm really looking forward to meeting you tonight. Do I have your word you're going to be there? They show up. If you do it the opposite way, they're not going to show up. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to show up. You can invite 10 people, maybe 1 will show up, or maybe none of people will show up. If you do it properly, that's why we have the My 5. That's why we have the My 5. They'll let their friend down, but they won't let a stranger down. All right?
That's awesome, Ed. That's awesome. So now we have people on this call from all over the world, but in particular we have a South Africa conference coming up in February. So South Africa has been, it started like every other market with one individual that's grown to a nice group of individuals, and they are earned their, spot as, they're putting, say, on the map in terms of a conference and making it, they're shooting for the stars. So what is your advice to anyone who is looking into expanding into the home market, South Africa? What should they be doing from now until the conference when I get there, possibly another special guest? What should they be doing from now till then?
Well, like I say, what they need to do, it's very, very, very important. They need to, start building a new house. First of all, you have to have a plan. You have to have a blueprint. You have to decide how many people you're going to talk to per day, and get out there. When I became number one in Herbalife, and again, I'm not expecting anybody to do this. Okay, so don't. They told me that I had to talk to 5 people per week. Okay, I talked to 20 people per day, every single day. I did 20 presentations a day, every day. And what happens is I get up, people have a job. So I see people at 6 o'clock in the morning driving in the traffic. Yesterday, people the same way at 5 o'clock at night, people coming home from work. I treat it like a job. So I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, do the same thing. So instead of traveling and working for somebody else, it was a business for me. So I decided I was going to talk to 20 people per day. So what I did, I call it celebrate or fix. Every single day I celebrated my achievements. And so what I did is, if I finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was finished at 4. If I finished at 11 o'clock at night, it was 11 o'clock at night. I never went under the 20, ever. You can't say, well, I'm going to talk to 5 people per day, but I only did 2 today, but I'll do 2 more. I'll do 7 or 8 tomorrow. It doesn't work, right? You have to have a plan and stick to the plan. Plan your work your plan, right? So if you're going to do, if you decide it's 3, that's okay. But make sure you're doing those 3 every single day. Don't say, well, today I don't feel well, I got a headache, I got this and that. The only way that someone would have me not come to an appointment, I have to, be take an arm off or something, right? And the thing is, I'm never, ever, ever, ever late. If you have an appointment at 7 o'clock, be there at 20 to 7, 6:30, whatever. If someone says, I'm running behind, say, if you're running, you will not be behind, okay? So the whole thing is that if people don't respect your time, they don't respect you. If I have an appointment at 7 o'clock and people are not there until 7:15, guess what? I am gone. People say, oh, I showed up. I said, no, you didn't show up. You're supposed to show up at 7. I waited for 15:15, you weren't there. I don't think you qualify for my team. I don't chase anyone. I want to make sure that if somebody's going to be on my team, that everything is about work habits, and everything is about integrity.
That's awesome, Ed. Again, it all goes back to what we put into it, and the only difference here is what we put into it. Not only we get back, but it goes a long way and well worth it, because unlike the traditional business job, the more exchanging time for money, here we spending some time, for a lot of return and for a long term return. So residual is what we're talking about here, and you know what? It all goes back to hard work and what we, like you said, it's not a hobby, it's a business. If we want business checks, then we better treat it as a business. And you know what? I could see after so many years the passion you got for people, the way you go about doing it, the way you still full of energy. I don't know. I tell people I don't consider this work. I enjoy what I do, and I love to see the progression. I love to see people changing their lives. I love the stories. It's beyond, like, it's dream come true. It's a total freedom. It's something that right now, Ed, you're sitting at your place, training, talking to a large audience from all over the world. I mean, where else can we do that? Us being pre-approved internationally, our business open, almost everywhere in the world. I mean, where else can we have this kind of luxury, this kind of freedom, So, yeah, well said, Ed.
again, I really, I'm impressed. I'm happy. I'm delighted to be on the call today. I hope that maybe a couple of you are going to take my advice. I can guarantee you one thing, that if you do take my advice, it does work every single time. There's not a time that it doesn't work. It's just a matter of going out there and making it happen. And Ramin and I are on the same page in music when it comes to telling people what they need to do. And a lot of people nod their head, nod their head. And it's okay, but they go back to their old ways. If you just consistently do what you've learned today, I can guarantee you that's why I became an RA in 7 months. That's why this happened, that happened. I'm on my way to the next level now, to regional, to national. I'm on my way, right? And I'm not going to stop until I get there. Right?
Well, we could see it coming, Ed. We could see it coming.
Well, I'm 71 years old, so for me, I don't buy any more green bananas. This is my house hurrah. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to take it to the top. At 71, I would defy anyone to outwork me because every single day, this is what I do, and it's a lot of people make shortcuts, and shortcuts do not work. So
awesome. Well, it was an absolute pleasure having you on this call. I mean, I know messages are flying, social media is flying. People are, going nuts in the background, messaging each other, posting. Call is recorded, and you're going to see this recording all over social media, and great nuggets to pick from what you're saying. At the end of the day, what you do, Ed, is it difficult? Is it complicated, or is it just hard work?
No, it's not complicated at all. Like I say, I enjoy myself, and I enjoy being on the call with everyone today. The one thing that I want to emphasize is that I do have a lot of videos, I have a lot of recordings, I have a lot of things that people can use. Like I say, I don't care what team you're on or where you are in the world. Use all of my stuff. Use me and abuse me. Just, you tell people that, Ed Mercer has made 50 people millionaires. He's now going into Guinness Book of World Records to make 100 new people millionaires. And tell my story, and tell people that here's a guy with a great education who lived in a condemned house. Look at him now. He's going to make 100 new people millionaires. Would you like to be one of them? And like I said, I don't care what team you're on or what country you're in. We're all on the same team, right? If there's anything, be one on the call today. I don't care whether you just started this morning or whether you've been in call on the business for 10 years. I'm here for you. I'm here for every single person on the call. Okay? Okay?
We appreciate it, my friends. You're awesome. Now, last advice you can give everyone on this call who have a vision, they have a dream, but they have not got engaged fully yet. They have not got to work the way they should get to work yet, just as yet. What's your advice to these people? Why should they sacrifice 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? Why should they?
Well, the whole thing is the people that I have that have become in other companies became successful. A person says, I don't have the money to become a diamond. Well, that's the reason why you should be joining the company. And I have my friend in Mexico that was my #1 guy. He sold his motorcycle. He became a diamond because he sold his motorcycle. My other friend had a garage sale. If you're driving down the road today and the transmission or something would go in the car, you would find the money to fix the transmission. And some people will spend money on things that doesn't give them a return. I've seen people go out and buy 50-inch flat screen TVs and all these iPhones and stuff, but they'll invest that money in toys, but they won't invest it in the future. So, what I'm saying to people is that if you're not a diamond, you need to go out and find a way, find somehow to go out and become a diamond. And just to share with you real quickly, if your rental car will go places your own car will never go. And what I mean that is that when you're in a rental car, you don't respect the car because it's not yours. Some people, when they rent a house, they don't respect the house either because it's not their house. when I gave away my book, not one person read my book, right? When I was in the weight loss industry, when I gave away free product, not one person lost 1 pound. When I charged them $100, everybody lost weight. What I'm saying here is once you have some skin in the game, once you become a diamond in the company, the people that start the business will do the same thing as you do, okay? If you say to people, how did you get started? Well, I got started at 169. That's the way they will get started. If you say I got started as a diamond, they will get started as a diamond. So the thing is, like you have to lead by example. I don't say it disrespectfully, but I don't bring in people at 169. I try to encourage them to find the money to come in at least at 70. Okay. So at 169, you can sign up 20 people at 169. Your volume is zero. Your paycheck is zero. Right. And people have to pay their bills. They have to pay their rent or their mortgage. They have to put food in the fridge. They have to put gas in their automobile. So if people are making money right away, they will brag about it. They'll tell other people, hey, I've only been involved in business for 15 days or 30 days, and I'm already making money. If someone says to you, I've only been in business, or I've been in business for 6 months and never made any money, you're not going to encourage anyone to join. So the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack.
Well, now, with the new enhancements we've had, with the new promotion, the insane promotion, that's some of them are in effect, some are about to take effect, some are coming real soon, like 7-day getaway for 2 adults and 2 children by simply becoming a diamond. Now the car program is going to be released soon that we're ecstatic about. And we got our link here coming at the convention. Share a little bit about how powerful these 3 additions are going to be to our business.
Well, the skincare, just to share with you real quick, is a company called Miriam. They did $1 billion in 5 years with the skincare of 2 products, and their product is nowhere close to the product that we're going to have. Jeunesse also built $1 billion company based on skincare. Here we are. We're going to have the #1 skincare product in the world, bar none. But a compensation plan that will blow every other compensation plan away. And so the people that are already in those industries, they're going to see what we have. They're going to see the professionalism of our leadership. They're going to see all those things. We're going to start bringing some of the top leaders from other companies over to GWC. So the key is now is that you don't worry about doing the skincare today. The bigger your team is today, the bigger impact you're going to have when the product comes out. So if you have 1 person or 2 people in the organization, that's okay. But if you have 100, right, the day that your bank account is going to grow steroids, okay? Your bank account is going to explode because everybody on the team is going to purchase the product and get excited about the product. So build your team today. Don't wait for the, people say, oh, I'll wait for the skincare. Don't wait for the skincare. Build a team now. Get your team exploding now. So when it does come out, you'll have the advantage of making it even bigger and better.
That's well said, my friend. I mean, I know just the 7-day getaway, since it's being introduced, I know people who have qualified for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I'm talking 28 days, 35 days of free vacation to over 3,000 exotic locations around the world by simply doing what they do. Now they can use these free vacations at high-end resorts to not only travel but also build a business. And that's incredible just by itself right there. The car program, I know predictions about 4,000 cars being given away in 2017. I mean, wow, who doesn't want a free car? This is something they have some big conversations about, yourself in the, there, and can you share on that? How powerful is this car program?
Well, beautiful, and new cars are fantastic. They always drive better than someone else is paying for them. So, no matter what car you drive, if somebody else is paying for it, always seems to be a better car.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we really, 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 really want to thank you, Ed. This is priceless. We will get you on different calls, different markets, because everyone can, learn from, 50-year experience and how simple it actually is, as long as we don't mind putting in the time how simple it actually is to do. Because some people always approach me, I'm sure you've got this over 1 million times. People come say, Ed, what's the trick? What's the secret? How can I do a shortcut? How can I get to the top without doing all these other things? And we all know
just follow what I've been mentioning to you today. It does work every time. There's no shortcuts. There's no magic wand. There's none of those things. It works, and it works when you work. The company is by far, and like I said, I've been around the industry for 50 years. I've seen every single company. I know all the comp plans. I know the owners of the companies. I know all those things. I've had a company offer me $100,000 to join. I had another one offer me $500,000 to join. I've been offered cars and houses and trips and all kinds of things. When I come to GWT, they offered me nothing. They said, okay, how do you get started? And they said, $3,600, you buy a betterment pack. And I did. So, you know, I joined based on the integrity of the company. And based on I joined based on the integrity, but also the leadership. What's remaining and Shanaz and you know, Renee only having 7,000 people in his group and making $100,000 a month. So I had 1.3 million people in my organization that's making $100,000 a month. So, you know, we sponsored 10 people per year. I sponsored 10 people per week, right? So,
well, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, any closing statement, Ed? I know it's you got some meetings coming up. We really appreciate your time. Any closing statement?
The only thing I want to say is, like I said, you mentioned earlier about perhaps having on other calls and doing other things. I just want to let every single person on the call know that no matter, like I mentioned earlier, no matter where you are in your life, or you know, if I can be of a personal mentor to you, or to help you, or to do whatever I need to do, and you know, I'm there for everybody on the call today. Use any of my videos, use any of my information, use the business from home, use all the stuff that they've written about me, and you know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help everybody on the call today.
Thank you very much, Ed. That's awesome. Truly appreciate it. And you know what? Definitely looking to have you present in these international markets. Have you, you know, be with us in different spots in the world that's flourishing, that's expanding, and so on. And we truly appreciate it, my friend. And at this point, what I'm going to do is go back to our diplomat, Nolan Pillay, South African leader. If there is any comments, Nolan, you can maybe read it. If there's someone that wants to speak, someone that would like to say a couple of words, we can also do that at this point. We'll.
If I can just interrupt for a second, I've got some people here because I'm in a place of business and they're waving at me. They want me to. So if you know, I can go on other calls, but they're mostly waving at me. They want me to move. So, but again, I do thank you for having me on the call today. And we can continue doing more calls. We can do them weekly. We can do them bi-weekly. We can do whatever it takes, okay?
Thank you very much, Ed. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you for being on the call.
Okay, take care. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed.
All right, Nolan. So maybe you want to, you know, you read some of the comments, some of the questions, anything that might be there. Someone wants to share their excitement. They want to say a couple of words. Look through the thing to see, you know, if there's some people that, you know, go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Reza, for that, and thank you for that interview. We are so wowed on the side. I mean, we're just listening so attentively and just making so much of notes. It's unbelievable the amount of knowledge that we can just gather in a short space of time, and valuable knowledge as well. But of course, like everything in life, we all get this knowledge, and if you don't use it to or don't apply it in life, it becomes fruitless. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone on the call, all the knowledge that you gained tonight, please put it to good use. Please start practicing it, start using it. Now, there are a few comments, and there's a lot of comments. So from Charlene Nolan, wow, what a pot of gold that I received today. Thank you for this priceless interview with Mr. Mercer. Great training. Nkechi says, good evening. Will there be a recording, please? Yes, Nkechi, for sure there will be one. Rebecca Robinson, wow, 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 this is pure gold. Thank you so much. Tony Walker, many thanks to National Ambassador Reza, RA Ed, and Diplomat Nolan for facilitating this life-changing call. My dear brother, Junior, basically says, powerful training, RA Ed Mercer, thank you for investing your time with us and sharing your experience and expertise. Very, very powerful and very valuable lessons you taught us today. Mona Lated, thank you so much, N.A. Reza and R.A. Ed Mercer, for your time and expertise as well as your ideas. Much appreciated. Christine Nickel says, wow, wow, wow. Christine had a question for Ed, was basically, what's your worst experience in the industry and how did he overcome that? Christine, I would suggest send Ed an inbox and check with him. He will answer questions. He's a very pleasant guy. He's always very helpful as well. Nando Mel says, fabulous call, took many notes. Wow, insane. So absolutely brilliant call. You know, we just loved it to bits. Maybe I can just invite Seema just to give us her few words on the call and her experience of the call as well. So Seema, before we move on to the next person, give us some of your thoughts.
Well, this is really an amazing call. I personally benefited a lot from it. And, you know, like Mr. Ed Mercer just shared some pointers there for our upcoming conference in February. You know, this is really going to help us and, you know, boost to get people to the presentations. So we're going to put it to use. And I just want to thank N.A. Reza for arranging this call. We really appreciate it. It's been so beneficial. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Diamond Seema. So ladies and gentlemen, I see there's Kenny Uday has his hands up and it's been up for a while. So I'm just going to give him the, I'm just going to unmute him on my side and just get his question. Hi, Kenny, can you hear me? Okay, so let me, I think he must have done it in error. And I've also got Evelyn Vickers, who's got her hands up. Evelyn, I've unmuted you on my side. You're welcome to ask your question. Okay, I'm not sure whether that was also done in error. Evelyn Vickers, if you can hear me, you're welcome to say your comment. Okay, nope, I don't see. I see Kenny's hand has gone up again. Kenny, can you unmute yourself? Okay, I'll give you a few seconds while I read out the next comment. This came in from Anthea Emmanuel. Great interview. Looking forward to the recording. We'll definitely listen again and share with members. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure, Anthea. Lawrence Buckley, thank you, everyone. Fabulous call. Eloviano Shadunke from Nigeria, also a good friend of mine as well. She basically says, thank you very much, N.A. Reza and R.A. Ed Mercer, for this amazing call. Look forward to listening to the recording. Thanks, Nolan and Seema, for making this happen. Ashton Henderson, it's gratifying to have such a wonderful, brilliant individual as R.A. Mr. Ed Mercer to enlighten us on becoming even more successful in achieving great highs in this business. Absolutely, Ashton, absolutely. So true as well.
Okay, well, sorry, Nolan. There's a question here. It is gone, but I am here to sort of help with some of the questions. Kristen Nickel asking basically, where does he find his leads? Well, the answer is simple, Christine. He said it to you. Like, he looks successful. He is out and he makes 20 contacts per day, 10 contacts per day, different people, 5 contacts per day. And how does he do it? He basically looks good, goes out there and uses, you know, tax training as one of them. You know anyone that would like to save $3,000 to $9,000 a year in their taxes? That applies to countries that do, you know, people are, you know, getting choked by the taxes. So that works. Or another line that, you know, basically you could say is that I am building an international, you know, international business, and basically, you know, anyone, you know, that might be interested into expanding in this area. Most people, if not all, will say, sure, what is it about? You know, I would, you know, that's another one. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can find your leads, but if you are not discounting your list, people that you know on first name basis, that by itself should be a couple of thousand people. If you keep track of it, people you meet on a daily basis, people you contact daily, people that you knew from before but never knew their name, never went out of your way to get to know them, whether it's on a passing, whether it's in a coffee shop, whether it's a doctor's office, whether it's at anywhere. These are all potential members, potential LCs, potential email operators. They just don't know about your opportunity. It is the way you go about getting the curiosity and bringing it to the table so they can see exactly what it is that you do, so you can get them. So you got to have that a list book with you. You got to have a list book. If you don't have a list book, if you rely on your cell phone, you rely on scribble papers that, like Ed mentioned, if you rely on your memory, then you don't have a list book. So what you do is you need to have a physical list book that you write constantly. People that you remember, people that you meet, to write their names in there. 7 billion people out there. In GWT, you need 2 aces. Whether it's your Facebook, whether it's contacts from LinkedIn, I don't know. There's no shortage of leads. They're all out there. It's our job. We get paid massively for finding these leads, making contact, building like and trust, and bringing them to the table. So there's no shortage of lists, okay? What's his morning rituals? I tell you something. When we were at the conference, the convention, this young man, he told you 71 years old, he'd be hosting gatherings at the end of the night. When we finished working in his suite, he would wine and dine everybody. Everybody, I remember I had to tell everyone to go to their rooms at 3 a.m. because we had work to do the following day. So 3 a.m. we left, so he couldn't have gone to bed at 3. So he probably went to bed at 3:30, 4. But yet in the morning, when I barely got myself out to go to the training, he was already in the lobby in his 3-piece suit, meeting and greeting people like he had a full night's sleep. That is him. Early riser, always looking good, and always a smile on his face. He starts his day in the morning, and he ends it when everything is over. That's just the kind of work ethics he's got. That's, basically a hardworking guy. That's what he is. He's a hardworking guy that does not go casually about his business, okay? And what kind of personal developments do you do? He does all kinds of them. You heard that he mixed it up with likes of Richard Branson and some big names I know he was with. He never misses a convention. He never misses an event. He's always picking, some new knowledge, some new nuggets from other people. Like you always learn. The day you think that you learn everything is the day you start to go backwards. Us as individuals, we always should be open to regardless of how long we've been around and how much we think we know and how much money we make. So he's always a good student, and he's always listening, and he's always picking whatever he could pick from whoever, okay? What characteristics of people are you looking for a prospect besides having integrity? Well, you know what? I don't prejudge anybody. I mean, unless there is a known corrupt individual that, it's no doubt that they are not good people. I give everybody a chance. I get to know people for myself. And, some of the biggest players in the industry came from not being so big to begin with. You heard Ed, homeless, not a proper roof, not a proper floor, grade 8 education, and here he is, 50 years later. Imagine if someone didn't give him a chance initially when they told him about network marketing. So you don't know who it's going to be. It could be anybody. But what he said was he goes after people that he knows first, that he knows that he looks up to, that he knows who are successful, that he knows that, these are the people he wants as his presidents and his lieutenants and so on. So he goes after those first. But really don't prejudge anyone, okay? What kind of advice would you give a brand new LC in building the business? Well, all of the above, everything we talk about. They can keep going on about their life with their job. Hopefully they'll get a promotion and a 2% raise. Hopefully they won't lose that job for the next 50, 60, whatever years. Or they can take action and they can change their lives in a short while, but with some hard work behind it. So that is, really tell it the way it is. I tell it the way it is, and you know what? I kind of become a little bit, not harsh, but more to the point when someone has a grin on their face or they want to downplay my game. They want to talk down about my business. That's when I look at them and say, what exactly do you do? And, you know, what kind of car do you drive? Where do you live? How many vacations do you take a year? You have to work till you're 67 years old? Are you living comfortably? Are you traveling? Are you doing what you want to do? Are your kids' future secured? If, God forbid, something happened to you today, will you be able to rest in peace in your grave, knowing your children are taken care of? These are the things that sometimes I have to resource to get people's attention. You know, again, everyone have their own style, but that's me. I tell it the way it is, and you know, this is what I would tell my LCs. I mean, you joined GWT for a reason. You haven't done much about it. You have done some about it. You stopped, or you're doing great. Keep going. Either case, I tell them the way it is. I tell them the truth. What other options do they have? If they had other options, they would not be in GWT anyways. So if they're here, you heard Mercer say that after 50 years experience, if they cannot make it in GWT, they should not join another company, period. Okay, so that's how simple and how awesome our company, our product line, or our compensation plan is. So that's, you know, those are some of the skills that you get better at as you do it. Okay.
Yep.
In building like and trust, another question. Building like and trust, what kind of questions do you ask your prospects? Well, you ask questions. People love to talk about themselves, Christine. You know, people hate it when we start to talk 300 miles an hour talking about ourselves and our life. They're not interested in that, especially if they don't know you. People love to talk about themselves. People love to, when you ask them questions because you're interested. You ask questions because you're interested, they like it, and they start to like you, and they start telling you about what you asked them, and in that process, that is the best way of building like and trust, that you're interested to know what's going on with them and in their life. Not so much about how well you're doing or how you know, wonderful you are or what's wrong in your life. So like and trust is about asking the right question, and going forward. What's the strategy about building a brand new market? Well, it's like every other market. Maybe Nolan can answer that. How did South Africa came about, and why are we having a conference? Nolan, go ahead.
Well, it's very simple. You see an opportunity like this, and most importantly, you got to identify what's happening in your country. So I speak for a lot of our South Africans, and we know, or currently what's happening in our country is that we find a huge problem in unemployment. And people are struggling. People cannot survive anymore without an additional income. Now, when this opportunity came across, it just brought to the fore that, yes, people can start living again. People can start going on vacations. People can start doing things for their kids, buying them the special bike, and, you know, all of these things that they never had the opportunity to do it. So when you identify something like this in a country, you personally realize, wow, I can help so many people out there. I can touch so many lives. I can change so many lives. And that's what makes the difference. It's finding an opportunity, bringing it in, and helping the people in the country, not sitting back and just relaxing on this. So most personally, I'm very passionate about that, together with Seema and the team in South Africa as well. We want to help as many people as possible change their lives for the better, earn this additional income. You know, you remember, I'm sure a lot of you can relate with this. You go on a vacation on a weekend, right? You leave on a Friday and you're back on a Sunday because you got to be at the office on a Monday. Is that really a vacation? Absolutely not, because you only have the Saturday to spend at the ocean. Sunday you got to drive back 500 kilometers to your home. That's not a vacation at all. Now, with the opportunity we have at Global World Trade, you can decide when you come back from your holiday. You can decide how much you spend on your holiday. You're in control of your time, and you're not being forced by a system where you work 40 hours a week and for 40 years of your life for a pension that's not going to really help you survive.
Thank you, Nolan. But I think the question she's asking is, what's the strategy, you know, be in building a brand new market? Well, the brand new market starts with one individual or a small group of individuals, Christine. If you are that individual in that market, then to be is up to me, Christine. You take everything we talked about today, along with the forensic and everything else we got, and put it to work. There is no such thing as bad work. As long as you're doing it, you're going to get results. You heard Ed and his DMO after 50 years, how he knows it and how he does it. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated. You just have to do it. I know a lot of time we sit there and we think about it, and because we think about it so much, just because we see so many posts, we read it, just because we talk to two people, all of a sudden we feel like we had a great day, big full day of work. That's not work. Work is reaching out to new people, getting out there, showing this tour, making contacts. You're in that new market, congratulations. If you're in that new market, own it, okay? Pioneer it. There's some hard work involved, absolutely. You got to be organized. You got to be serious. You can't be casual and wanting to pioneer a market. You got to be darn serious. You got to get out there. You got to get up in the morning rather than going to work for someone else. If you have a job, then you know what? Then whenever you're off work, it has to be organized. That is spent efficiently, because what's going to happen, every market we expand to starts with one individual, a small group of individuals, with their hard work and our support. These markets start to develop, then they start to have my first visit, for example, South Africa, or it was the Caribbean, it doesn't matter where. And from that point on, you continue working it. This small group of individuals become medium-sized individuals. The next thing you know, the momentum kicks in and become a large market. So it's the same all over, Christine. There is no shortcut. You got to get to work, and you got to be organized, and you got to reach out to the new people as fast as you want it to grow. In some cases, you get lucky too. You bring someone that surpasses you. That's why I started to laugh happily, not sarcastically, when Ed said that he wants to be where I am. He wants to pass me. He wants to go become the number one. And I'm ecstatic. I love that. Why? Because it's my business. It's in my team. I would brag to say I got 50 people that are making more money than me, than all my team. What does that mean? Longevity. What does that mean? Security. What does that mean? That means my business is working. My team is developing and growing. What does that mean? My kids are good in the future. All right, so this is basically, a little bit on that. What's the worst experience in the industry? Well, I'll share you what's my worst experience in the industry. My worst was when I built it. I gave my 110%. That was earlier on in my career, when I was just, a young guy who just got into business, saw the vision, saw the possibilities, gave it 110%, developed a team, and when I was starting to enjoy, when I was starting to say, yes, I did it, all of a sudden, it popped up, claiming to have better products, claiming to have better compensation plan, and as we know, grass is always greener, right? Until it's time to mow. There goes half of my team. Here I am sitting in disbelief thinking, what the heck did just happen? What is this other company got that we don't got? I started to doubt my own company. I started to doubt my own products. Maybe their products is better. Because I didn't know any better. I didn't have no experience. I thought maybe they have a better compensation plan. So I took some time and I read the compensation plan, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is nowhere near what we have. How could it be better? But nevertheless, I lost half of my team. My checks went down to less than half of what it was. So you know what? Being stubborn and committed, I worked it hard again, built it. Just when I thought I got it back to where it should be, a whole bunch of more companies popped up. All of them were in health and nutrition at the time, and there went 3/4 of my check. Oh my Lord, what's going on here? 7.5 years later, I figured, okay, I came to learn health and nutrition is a cutthroat industry. It's a tough segment of this industry to be in, because everybody popping up with their own juice, shake, vitamins, minerals. Everyone claims theirs do better. Some bogus claims that they're all making. And, so I figured, okay, health and nutrition is not it. That's where the problem is. I went to the next one, build it hard. I started enjoying some great income, and guess what? They got shut down. I was devastated. Like, what is going on? It's a great industry. Why is this happening? Again, then the next one, which I thought I picked the right one, this one, and guess what? Surprise, surprise. the owner shut it down. Okay, and the fourth one, which again I worked it very hard, started making really good money, and it was shut down. So this is 16 years. I'm talking within the first 16 years of my career. 4 different programs. I learned a lot from the 16 years, but this is what happened to me. What's the worst? What's worse than that? So, you know, that's when I said to myself, even though devastated, I said to myself, the next company I go with, I know it's a great industry, it's going to be the last, and it's going to be the right one. And God bless GWT. Here we are today. So yes, there's a lot of worse, Christine. You know, depends on the matter of perspective, what you call worse. I don't think there's any worse than you give it 110%. You make it your only thing, and it gets shut down. So yes, there's a lot of the stories, horror stories out there, like that out there. GWT, 11 years straight and flourishing. So again, God bless GWT. Let's see. The video, yes, it's recorded. Where do we find these training videos of Ed? Just do a Google search. Thank you so much, Reza and Ed Mercer, for your time, expertise as well. That's from Mona. You're very welcome, Mona. Glad to have you on this call. Junior says power training by Ed Mercer. Thank you for sharing your experience. It was very powerful. You're very welcome, Junior. Glad you were on it. This is from Tony Walker from Barbados. You're very welcome, Tony. You know, glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully you had your team on it. And yes, it is recorded. You guys can share that with your team. Wow. This is pure gold. That's by Rebecca Robinson. You're very welcome, Rebecca. Charlene knows from Dominica. Let me see what she wrote. Wow, what a pot of gold that I received today. Thank you for this priceless interview with Mr. Mercer. Great training. Very welcome, Charlene. Glad you were on it. Actually, I knew you'd be on it anyways because you don't miss these things. That's good. That's awesome. Mickey says, good evening. Will there be a recording? Yes, there'll be a recording. Audio is really horrible at her end. Yes, internet connections are a challenge in some markets, but yes, it is recorded and it will be posted. Incredible interview. Yes, great interview. Looking forward to the recording with Nancy Emmanuel. We definitely listen. Yes, you're very welcome. Lawrence Buckley, thank you. You're welcome, Lawrence. All right. Thank you very much, Reza Mercer, for this amazing chat. Looking forward to listening to the recording. Welcome. Ashton Henderson says, you have to have such a wonderful, brilliant individual as R.A. Mercer to enlighten us on becoming even more successful, achieving great heights in this business. Absolutely, Ashton. Thanks, Nolan and Seema, for hosting the call. That's from Christine Nickel. You're very welcome. Constantina says, thanks a lot for this inspiring call in Reza, Ed, Diplomat Nolan, and Seema. You're very welcome, Constantina. Can't wait to get started on this business. Okay, we have Mapulaine Haley. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. It says, can't wait to get started on this business. I'm overly excited and looking forward to meeting everyone in this amazing business. Wow, regards, Mapulaine. So you're very welcome, Mapulaine. Don't wait. Do not wait. Get started. Launch your mall. Earn as you learn. This is something that was taught a very long time ago. Earn as you learn. We have 11-year track record. We're not an overnight company. So I don't know how much you know about us. So anyone, anywhere on the planet, have any reservation about joining this business because they're not sure about if this company, all you need to say is one thing. 100 and almost 200 countries, 11 years in the business, enough said. There's enough accolades about us, so there should be no reservation. So yes, get started, earn as you learn. We're all here to help and assist you. Nolan, do you know Mapulaine?
Yes, Reza, it's Mapulani, and she's going to be joining our business anytime soon, in the next few days. and she's all the way from Lesotho, which is neighboring South Africa.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get her started. Let's get her plugged in the system, get her geared up for the conference, because by that conference, we should be popping diplomats and ambassadors like popcorn. Okay?
Yep.
All starts today. You guys should start taking massive action today. Let's get you guys all on the stage into your new cars and, you know, on your exotic cruise and vacations and so on. So, yes, Nolan, she's in great hands. So, yes, let's get her going. Christine says she got her list and her forensic networker box. Great, Christine. You have it. Now let's use it. Okay. Henry Weirman from Australia. He says, awesome webinar. Will a copy be available? Yes, Henry. Great to hear from you, my friend, from Perth, Australia. Constantina says, hi, Nolan. Please kindly check on Kenny. Is Kenny on the call? Yes, he's got some questions, plenty times. All right, I'm looking at the questions, Constantina, and we'll definitely answer any questions you might have. If I do not see the question, you can arrange a three-way with myself, and I'll definitely be more than happy to answer any question. Thank you very much for answering my questions. You're very welcome, Christina. Stephanie Wines goes, amazing call today. Thank you for the golden nuggets. Time to go make it happen. Ed, so grateful for your time to support all of us as a family. Amazing job. Reza, Nolan, looking forward to the next one. You're very welcome, Steph. Sean is not on the call, but okay, Constantina. He said unmuted himself at his end. Okay.
That is Kenny Ude, Reza. I've unmuted him. I see he's unmute now at the moment. Yep, I don't know whether...
One of the question Kenny has is that why don't you guys come and launch it in Namibia? Well, we don't go launch it in any market, Kenny. It is people in those markets or someone that knows people in those markets that get things started, make things happening, because we're an online business. As things starts to happen, the company takes notice, the leadership takes notice. They work with you and support with you, like every market we have launched in the past. And once you reach a certain size, you will have the leaders visiting and helping you to bring it into the next level. So yes, if you are the right individual on the ground in that country, then you can get to work. You can work with us, tap in the system, the trainings, the webinars, three-way calls like you heard, and we'd be more than happy to assist. And you know what? Come down there like I'm going and help you, you know, explode it over there. But yeah, this is something we can have a conversation afterwards, one-on-one. Payman from Middle East, from Iran says, this interview makes my day. Thanks a lot, Nolan, Reza, Ed. You're very welcome, Payman. Let's see. Yes, we know that. Okay, this is good. And Beverly Ann Poyet is from here. Awesome. It is a machine. I agree, Sean. I have witnessed it myself. Great call from 2GWT mentors. That's Sean Singh from Montreal, Quebec. Harriet Harold from St. Martin says, very great call in Reza. Big thanks to Mr. Mercer for sharing an awesome experience in the industry. Awesome call, appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, that's you're very welcome. Suzette, she's originally from Montreal, in the west coast of Canada now, I think in Calgary. She said, great training. Thank you very much. It was amazing. You're very welcome, Suzette. And let's see. There's a lot of I can't go through them, but Natasha Lewis from St. Martin says, great webinar, very assuring. Thanks a lot. Lepogang Mogalane. How do you become?
It's Lebokang.
Yes, go ahead, Nolan.
Yeah, it's pronounced Lebokang Mokolani. He's one of our LCs here in Johannesburg as well. And he basically says, how do I become one of 100 trained by Ed Mercer? It's very simple, Lebo. Let's connect you with Ed. And the starting point with Ed is always you got to be diamond first, and then he starts working with you from there. He will work with you now, but we have a Diamond 100 team put together. Correct me if I'm wrong, Reza.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, Ed is actually, believe it or not, folks, he's old school as comes. Do you believe this guy is known as a billionaire of the industry, yet he's never owned a computer? This is something that I was blown away by. He has never owned a computer. He doesn't even know how to use a computer. I had to three-way him into the webinar. Okay? That's how simple this business can be if you don't mind the hard work. So yes, we have great trainings in place. We have a lot of different groups. I mean, every Tuesday and Thursday, you have the webinars in the afternoon. We have trainings such as this every Tuesday night and Thursday night, our time. It becomes, actually you have your own international time for these trainings and so on. Plus you can do one-on-one training with myself if you're within South Africa or within my five, or even if you're not. Reach out and we will arrange and make sure that you, not left behind, and you get all the help and training that you could possibly need. Put yourself on the map, make a lot of noise. Here's our newest diamond who won the 7-day getaway. Here's our newest diplomat. When we see your face and your name, that you're constantly welcoming people on GWD Family Facebook page. We know this individual, even like, I'll give you an example. There was individuals I've never heard of, never seen before. I was wondering, who's these people? Who are these people that constantly 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people launch every week, and until I met them in the last conference. So put yourself on the map by leading, by example, by being visible, and you will be taken notice. So when you do speak to, let's say myself, Ramin, Sanaz, Ed, Renee, anybody, even though they've never seen you, but they have heard of you because they see you on Facebook, that you're putting posts on GWD Family, you're welcoming new members, you've accomplished your 7-day getaway, you've got your car program, you become a diplomat, you become an ambassador. This is how you put yourself on the map. First things first, you heard Ed say, do what you got to do and make sure you're a diamond. That is the greatest start right from there. And you know what? We can have more conversations about this a little bit later, and I'll be there more than happy to assist. Okay? All right. So, training webinar, much appreciated to you, Reza. Great job, sir. Okay, Victor said some kind words. Thank you very much, okay. So what I want to do is at this point, I guess we went, through this training. Folks, what I want to tell you is this. Convention is around the corner. South Africa conference is around the corner. You want similar things in your market, in your area. To be is up to me. When Nolan said to be is up to him, and he went and pounded, he put his Grand Cherokee, unthinkable. He put it in a pawn shop because he wanted to become a diamond. The other dude sold his motorcycle. Nolan pawned his vehicle to become a diamond. I mean, this is a while ago. Without any income, he saw a vision, and he went as far as doing that to become a diamond. I mean, what else do you want more than that? It showed to me that this guy is serious. I had a conversation. He jumped from a retailer, I think, I don't know, to a diamond within 24 hours. So first he tells, he didn't have the money, but next he's a diamond. Maybe, I probably thought initially, well, here, he found the money. He had the money. But then I found out only weeks later that he had put his car in the pawn shop. So, that's wow. I said, this guy I'm going to pay special attention to. And you know what? Here we are working towards the conference. You know what? Take action. To be is up to me. The help is here. The training is here. The support is here. You want your conference next. You want your market to be flourishing regardless of your location. Remember, to be is up to me. We're here to assist and help. We cannot do it for you. You start it. You ask for help. You work with us, and we make sure that happens. So at this point, I'll pass the call back to you, Nolan. It was an awesome webinar. I know it was a lengthy one too, but I still see almost everyone still on the call. Almost everyone. So that shows me that, no one's bored yet. So let's go, Nolan. Back to you, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, National Ambassador Reza. So, yep, thank you very much once again for that. We really appreciate the interview with Mr. Ed Mercer, who's now Regional Ambassador. Fantastic interview. Learned so much, made so much of notes. So, ladies and gentlemen, every single webinar you get on, always keep your notepads ready, keep your pens ready, make as much notes as possible. We getting to hear from top leaders. I mean, how many of you do get a chance to speak to a billionaire or hear from a billionaire or a millionaire? How many of you do that? Not many, right? So this is what we actually do at Global World Trade. We help as many people as possible, irrespective of your location. It's as simple as that. It's all about learning from each other. And like I always say, all the knowledge that we have gained tonight, it's very valuable, but it becomes more valuable when we start applying that knowledge in whatever we do. Application is most importantly, do not let it go to waste. So like I mentioned initially, South Africa conference is going to happen from the 23rd to the 25th of February. And we welcome our National Ambassador Reza Mesgarlou to South Africa. And I said it, and I'll say it again, he's going to spend about 24 hours on a plane just to get all the way to South Africa to come in and help us grow our business. This is the type of leaders that we have in our business, ladies and gentlemen, that will do whatever it takes to make sure that we all become successful. So I'd like to thank you once again. And as you said, Reza, the audience is still on. Nobody wants to disappear. So to anybody who's new on the call, if you have been invited by somebody to join this webinar tonight, please get back to them immediately and launch your emails, because I can tell you personally, I'm earning from 18 different countries in the business, and I've only started up 2 countries, which is Zambia and Ghana. The reason for that is this is the power of teamwork in our business. So that is why lock your spot in, launch your emails immediately. I can tell you now, with the South African conference coming up, it's going to be mind-blowing. I mean, Africa is going to go to another level. It definitely is going to go to another level, and we're going to be throwing out diplomats like left, right, and center. I mean, if you know what's up for grabs as a diplomat, you get a $500 towards a car program. $500 a month towards a car of your choice. It can be a Merc, it can be a BM, it can be anything. All you have to do is become a diplomat in our business, and we will guide you into becoming a diplomat. So get back to the person who invited you to call, launch your diamond email immediately, and let's get to work, folks. Let's get to work. It's as simple as that. So I'd like to just say thanks again, Reza, and pass our grateful thanks on to R.A. Ed Mercer as well. We do appreciate his time. We know he's a busy man, so thank you very much for that as well. So I just want to see if Seema has any last words for us.
I just want to thank once again Mr. Ene Reza Mesgarlou and R.A. Ed Mercer for their time. We really appreciate it as always.
Great. So Reza, any last words to add on before we call it, before we end the call?
Well, you know what? The last word I think is enough said today. To be is up to me. I always tell that to myself. To be is up to me, and you guys should say the same thing to yourself. Whatever it is you want is there. It's handed to you. Now, what are you going to do about it? You're going to get off this call and be excited and inspired for the next 24 hours or so and let it dissipate, or you're going to take action immediately, start changing your life immediately. You know what? I'm looking forward to South Africa. There's no resting from now till I get there. And even there, we're going to work even extra hard to make sure we do our best that we got to do and set the date for the following 60 to 90 days of our next visit to SA. Now, let's get to work, guys. Let's be visible on GLBT family. Let's start welcoming our new members on GLBT family, and let's get to work. Let's make things happen. I would love to come there with a whack ton of pins, diplomat and ambassador pins and shirts and so on and so forth. So, let's get to work. I'm here. You need anything, contact me. I'll be more than happy to answer anybody's question. Thank you very much, Nolan. Thank you, Seema. It was a great webinar. Back to you. You can shut it down if you like. If you have any announcements, go ahead.
Great. So, yeah, thank you very much once again, Reza. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our SA conference that's coming on. Take advantage of it. we have our international convention, which is going to be in March at Niagara Falls in Canada. So if you are traveling from anywhere outside Canada, like Africa, for example, you have limited time. So go ahead, get a letter from corporate and apply for your visas immediately. I mean, we're quite lucky because we got a 7-year visa, so that's actually great. But anyone new on the call, attend the convention and you'll see how it will actually change your lives. So we've been there last year, April. We loved it to bits. When we came back, we saw this amazing opportunity and we started working it. So thank you very much once again for joining the call. We appreciate it. Watch out for the recording. I will be posting it in the various Facebook groups as well, and I'll be sending it on the WhatsApp groups as well as soon as I download it. So thank you for joining our call. Take action, secure your future, and in saying that, to the billion, folks, to the billion.
To the billion.